This is deep dish, right?
Yeah, well, let's get deep.
So I'm going deep on both sides.
Josh Black, welcome back to the platform. How you doing, fam?
What's good? I'm in the building, man. This coffee nasty, but it ain't your fault.
Hey,
It ain't your fault, man.
Hey, the machine was fancy,
The
though.
machine was good. Nice machine. You got a new beautiful spot, nice downtown area, but I should have known. I'm type of nigga, I got to bring my own creamer now, bro. You know what I mean? Because if you get the real deal coffee and you just do sugar and the little powder, that ain't going to get it. Now this shit tastes like concrete. So now my mouth feel like I just ate some.
You got the water right there, though.
I got some water, man, but I'm a coffee ass nigga. You know what I mean? So I like a good morning brew, but
I ain't got on the coffee life yet.
really,
I'm a hot
You
chocolate.
cocaine man.
No, I'm not a cocaine
okay.
man. That is not true.
it's like, yeah, I prefer the Coke. That's what I prefer.
I prefer the hot chocolate,
Oh,
hot
come on.
cocoa.
No, you gotta grow up, bro.
Man.
Hot cocoa.
Hey, man,
And you
I'll
can't do
stay
that in the
young.
summertime, do you? You don't do hot cocoa in the summer, do you?
I don't, but still, though, man.
Damn, so you're not really a hot drink.
I'm
nigga.
not a hot drink.
Really?
Nah,
really.
Nah.
You don't do a tea?
Man, when you live in China for 2 years, man, you get kind of tired of tea.
Oh, that's right.
but when I was living in Costa Rica, though, man, I had the best coffee ever.
Really?
Yeah,
Pure.
it was just pure.
Yeah.
It's pure, man. But
That's the best place to get the Coke too.
uh
Should have got you say, you know what? Go ahead, let me get a gram of that too. I'm over here. Fuck it.
you stupid, man. You dumb. But look, man. One, I always want to whenever I see you, man, I just always want to give you flowers, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
And
Yeah.
just for just what you're doing, just personally what you're doing for the city of Nashville, for Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
And just how you represent, man, and how you doing it, man. I just give you a whole bouquet of flowers right now.
I appreciate
And
you,
thank
bro.
you from one black man to another, man.
Absolutely, bro. I need that. I appreciate it.
No problems. And so we're gonna get straight into it, man.
Let's get it, bro.
You've had a lot
Yeah.
happen
Yeah.
in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Professionally and personally.
Yeah.
And so, man, I just want to ask you, just to get off, man, how your family doing, man? How are you doing?
Man.
How's everything?
Family cool, because now they understand what I've been doing.
Right.
You know, I got out of college. I went to about 3 colleges. I probably got 1 credit, in about 5 years. I probably got 1 credit.
That's a credit you didn't have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, I smoked a lot of weed. You know what I mean? So I did learn a lot in that aspect. Business. Mm-hmm. I learned limits of weed. You know what I mean? You learn a lot. I learned to respect the mid, which people sleep on now. People get rich and get money. They act like it. Don't nobody smoke mid no more. Oh, the mid, y'all smoking mid. And now, if you want to call something trash, you call it mid. Like, them shoes is mid. I respect the mid and E and J.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I remember I had $10, bro. That'll get you a blunt of mid and some E and J.
I remember you telling us that,
Bro,
man.
come on, bro. I always gotta remind people to put respect on that. So I say that to say, back then when I was on my mid and E and J, my family and I was just still reading and writing and smoking and trying to come up with ideas. My family thought I was like bumming out. Like, what is this nigga doing? He broke. He ain't got no money. He's skinny. He ain't doing nothing. And I remember thinking, I'm dreaming. I got something like, and my friends be like, man, this dude cold. They're like, hell no, he broke. They're like real working class folk. They're like, man, get your job or fuck you. You know what I mean? So I just didn't, I would have a few jobs here and there, some bullshit jobs. Remind me to tell you about the temp service.
Yeah.
I worked at a lot of temp services, man. So
Man, look, you told us about the temp service.
Oh, when I had to do that rape me. He
and
didn't rape me, but he was a rapist.
Hey.
Well, there you go. So y'all already know about how they rape me, you know what I mean? So
Go look at that first interview.
yeah, go look at the first
out.
interview,
Go
man. I'm
check
glad
it
I
out.
got that off my chest, man, because that was heavy on my soul, but I'm glad I got it off my spirit. But so anyway, man, I dealt with that for a long time, and I got to a point of just resentment because I'm like, man, I'm trying, I'm working harder than people that work 40 hours a week on my craft, but there's just no gain. I ain't winning at all. So so I'm like, man, I'm working harder than a lot of people in my family, and they still shitting on me because they got more money. But at the end of the day, I realized I went from being resentful to realizing, oh, they care about me.
Right.
And they just want me to see me doing good.
Right.
And in their eyes, I'm not doing good, so they angry. They don't understand.
Right.
So I had to gain a thing in myself to where like, oh, this is a self journey. Mm-hmm. Like all that, I want my parents and my grandparents to be proud. That shit childish, really. You know, if you really think about it, like that's cool, but while you trying to do that, people are missing out on your dreams. If you chasing your dream, once you get to your dream, you're gonna help people. Mm-hmm. So the more you deal with your family and you worried about silly shit, the people that you're supposed to help, they waiting on you. You ain't got time to deal with that stupid ass shit. So now I had to say, you know what, man, fuck that. I'm doing me. If it work, it work. If y'all don't believe me, I don't give a shit. I got to do this shit.
Well, man, and we might have hit on this before, but I just want to say it again. When you're the first person to do something in your family,
Yeah.
and specifically to black families when you coming from oppression.
Facts.
You know, everybody ain't gonna get it. And I had to figure that out too. When I went to the Peace Corps, people were like, why you going to volunteer abroad? You ain't making no money, you ain't doing this. And so, but I understood it. I got it.
Yep.
And I wanted to experience life a little differently. And I wanted to learn something that I just wasn't exposed to in North Nashville. Right. And so now everybody get it though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what happens, bro.
And then you opened up the door for cousins, nieces, nephews to say,
and
I can do it too.
It was a lot of pressure, bro, because like my cousins are all teachers. My one cousin's a doctor. My granddad was a firefighting chief. He also did real estate, became a millionaire doing real estate. My mom was a nurse, travel nurse. Like, everybody getting it in. Right. So you see this bum ass nigga on your couch smoking weed and writing music or writing jokes. It's like, man, what is he? We don't do that over here.
Right.
So I finally had to just block that out, man. And I just kept chasing that dream. And then it finally worked. And now they all understand, like, oh. So that was a lesson to me, like, in faith and in self-perseverance. Like, if you got a call and bro, go, it don't matter if your girl understand it, if your homeboys understand, if your family understand. It ain't for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? The universe didn't put that on their head to go chase that. That's on you. So if you feel that, you got to go chase it. So then once it works, everybody's like, oh, I can see that you were funny the whole time. Oh, you do actually work hard. So now I'm doing that same shit writing, and they like, oh, man, you got to calm down. You work too much.
Right.
I'm like, I was doing this shit when you said I was a bum.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I say that to say the family's good and we're in a better place now because they respect what I'm doing. And, you know, they never had a dreamer really in the family like that. They just because they work so hard with just like on the works tip. And I'm the dreamer. So it's like, and now I can open it up for my little cousins. So if they want to go dream and do something, they'll be like, well, it might be possible. This nigga did it. You know what I mean? So.
Man, what has been some of your because you've been lit for a minute.
Yes, sir.
And again, a whole bouquet of flowers. And I try to study. I try to study the other interviews that you do.
Sure.
And one of the things that I don't think many people ask you is like challenges.
Okay.
Like while being lit. You talk about the challenges of trying to get lit, right? You know, the NJ, the blunt, the pizza, all that, right?
Sure.
And so now that you've been kind of, because sustainability is key.
Yeah.
Like you can get lit, but can you sustain it? You've been sustaining it for a while now, right?
Yeah.
And so during that sustaining period, what has been some of the challenges, man, that you know, just new to this experience that you had to figure out and overcome, pivot, adjust, or whatever it may be?
Well, yeah, man, it's a lot. One is, I think 50 Cent once said, this, everybody can get on, who can stay on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, once you get on, you're like, oh, I did it, but all right, bro. Everybody, we all know 100 niggas that fell off. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I got to figure out how to keep it going. So my first challenge was to get people to like my content that was not about Nashville. Because I found myself almost stuck in this Nashville place, which was beautiful at first. Right. And I'm like, yo, I'll have a viral moment, and then people from Atlanta and Tampa and Baltimore follow me. They don't know who Megan Barry is or Bart Durham is. So it's like, I got to do some other content. But when I would do other content, people like, man, fuck out of here. And I would have like 30,000 views. I do something that wasn't about Nashville, 2,000. And then it got to the point where I'm like, hold on, am I even funny? Because I'm like, or do you just want to hear you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you think you like me or you just like me talking about your neighborhood?
Right.
And I'm thinking anybody could do that. Right. Because I'm like, hell, this motherfucker could get on here and say, I love Madison. And you just like, oh, that's my guy. So it started weighing on me like, hold on, maybe you ain't funny. Like, maybe you ain't lit like that. Maybe people just love themselves so much. You was giving it to them. So I'm like, damn, I had to really navigate. How can I get out of this shit? Because I feel like it's a ceiling in Nashville. Also,
let me pause you though.
Yeah.
Because during our first conversation, I think one of the things that I came out with is that you were speaking directly to Nashville.
Sure.
And that was something like you was proud about, especially being from here, right? Yeah. I'm speaking strictly to the city because nobody's ever done that.
Facts.
People that speak about Atlanta, Memphis, you know, all these other surrounding cities.
Yeah.
But nobody spoke directly to Nashville.
Then there's, exactly. So it was powerful.
Right.
And it got me a lot of money, a lot of love. Like it was powerful.
Right.
However, I'm like, all right, now we got to keep moving. My dream was not to be the king of Nashville. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I love the city, but I want to go from talking to it to representing it. I want to go to Hong Kong and say I'm a nigga from Nashville. I know it. You know what I mean? I don't want to just talk to Nashville all day because after a while, what are we talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I done hit every avenue.
Right.
So I knew, I realized I was running out of lanes. And not running out of lanes, but like running out of shit that was gonna surprise people. Because I want every post to be like, how the fuck you think of that?
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm like, nah. I'm like, ooh, I get like, we running. It's getting tight in this space.
Right.
Also, you got niggas biting you, which they have to. That's the game. So I'm like,
tell me about it.
yeah. Like, so people trying to clamp down. I'm like, fuck. Now I got these niggas on my heels trying to bite me. And I'm running out of shit to talk about. And I'm like, man. And also, this ain't my dream. Like, I want to talk about more shit. So I had to like figure out a way to get people to trust me doing other shit. So slowly but surely, I did content about relationships. I do a skit over here. And I finally did a skit about something. And that one did just as much numbers as my Nashville. And I said, oh, we gone now. Right. And I just slowly stopped talking about it. To like, I mean, just gradually, almost like somebody on heroin.
Right.
And they can't just stop heroin. You got to wean them off. You got to taper that thing off. So I was just taping off, And then I finally just said, no more Nashville shit. I might do a meme, but if you look up now, I can talk about it to a degree, but I can't do content purely on Nashville no more. Right. And my following has grown.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like my TikTok done went up to like 500,000.
Wow.
And that ain't local at all. So when they come to my Instagram, my Twitter, they were like, okay, what's this? I can't talk about Ed's Fish. I mean, I can to a degree.
Right.
But they not gonna know the nuances of it. Right. You know what I mean? So that was one challenge. Another challenge is I'm realizing now, which is all this is good though. You know what I mean? It's a good muscle to realize, that this.
These are good challenges. You've elevated.
Yeah,
these are elevation challenges.
Yeah, another challenge is like annoying niggas and racist liberals, because that's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to black folks, and a lot of times people that lean to the left, and I realize there's cons to that, like because Nashville hadn't seen. And not just Nashville, but people a lot of times haven't seen a black dude maneuver and be black outside of our culture.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you see a black dude that's doing an all-white crowd or talking about white nuanced jokes, like I can throw you a joke about Frasier or Seinfeld or The Office. I know white culture. So if a black person, sometimes if they see me doing that, they may think, oh, hell no, he a goofy. Or he a coon, he a like, oh, are you with them white folk? No. Because I go to the hood room out north at G-Spot, and now I'm talking about Martin. I can talk about whatever the fuck. I've been there more than you. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I've been through it. So I got to deal with, like, this one comic was like, man, I just didn't know you could do a black room. I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, because, you be with them white folk. I'm like, what does that mean?
Right.
Yeah. So it's just annoying. I'm like, bro, I've been out here. I'm cultured.
Have your blackness been questioned at any point? The
good thing is, like, if ever I get annoyed, I do the blackest shit they ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, it's like whenever somebody play me like that, and it might not even be on purpose. A lot of times it's innocent. They're like, man, like somebody introduced me to the club. They'll be like, man, coming up, the white folks love him. Give it up for you. And he don't mean no harm by that. And honestly, that's a compliment. But I'm like, nigga, everybody love me. That ain't like Asians, Puerto Rico, like white folks love him. What kind of shit is this?
Human beings love me.
Yeah, but he just ain't never seen that. So he's like, wow, he got the white folks.
Right.
And I'm like, that's even a weird compliment. Like, how is that a compliment? Because white folks love me. That's strange. So whenever I see that, I'm like, all right, bet. I'm going to do the blackest shit you ever seen in your life. So then my next piece of content or my next joke or then they start saying, I don't know how you pulled that off on stage. I don't know how you had white folk laughing at that. I'm like, now what, nigga? Right. You know what I mean? Right. You ain't never seen a nigga say that type of black stuff on stage or in my content in front of white folks, and they still fuck with it. And then it kind of confuses them, and I like that confusion. So that's the one thing you got to navigate, but sometimes it's innocent, you know what I mean? And you just got to deal with it. But I'm like, yo, we not boxed in. Like, if you go to Chinatown in New York City, they're not just selling to Chinese folk.
Right.
Everybody coming in there and getting some of that culture. You know what I mean? What are we doing? So that's my thing. Also, the annoying liberals, sometimes people want to book me on shows or book me at any kind of event, but the only time they want to book me is when something black's going on. Like, no. Like, when y'all got a white event, I can come through. Right. Like, I know white folks, but it's like, well, when we're doing Black Night, we'll bring Josh Black. Like, why? Right. You know what I mean? So it's like that becomes annoying too. Like, hold on, motherfucker. Like, I don't just talk to black folks. It's like if they got like a cool event that's just normal, and I ask to get on that, they're like, well, we'll see. But then if it's some hood shit or some black shit, it's like, all right, come on. But and in their head, they're being diverse. They're helping the black community.
Right. So how do you have that conversation with those specifically white liberals?
Yeah.
When you know they probably mean well.
Yeah,
But at the same time, if it wasn't this specific event, you probably wouldn't be invited to host or do a set.
Yeah.
Is that a conversation
you
have? Or
I literally say, I can talk to white people as well. Like, I don't like, sometimes I'm like, I ain't doing it. If I'm in a space, recently I was annoyed, and I'm like, I ain't doing it. Like, they didn't even mean no wrong. They probably didn't understand it, but I'm like, don't call me on nigga night.
Right.
Like, I'm not like, now mind you, it's probably a beautiful night. It is dope. Like, if they got Slim and Huskies and they got a whole lot of black stuff going on, I'm not saying I'm above that in any way.
Right.
But it just seems like I'm not the minority night. I'm better than anybody you can bring around here.
Right.
Don't have, so we get one night and then the other 29 days a month is just whatever. Like, put me over there with that.
Right.
And this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like that just kind of gets annoying. And then also I realized my friend of mine, he's a Christian comic. And his name is John Christ. And he got canceled one time for making out with a girl. That was it. He made out with her. Somebody took a picture. And the church was like, no way, you canceled. You're sinning, you're going to hell. I mean, for real, canceled them like bad. And he was talking about how dangerous his fans can be. And I realized the same thing with myself. I'm like, the liberals are so parallel to the church because they become, I feel like the new liberals have become like our parents in religion. Like, if you don't believe me, you going to hell. Right. If you don't do this, you go. Now it's like, if you don't think this, you're canceled. If you don't think exactly what I think, we're not arguing, we're not debating. If you don't think this, you're canceled. And I'm like, hold on, my fans are just as dangerous as this motherfuckers. And that's why I was like, hold on, I got to start keeping it a little more real. So now in my comedy and my content, I'm not trying to talk directly to you unless I'm peeing 1,000 with you. You know what I mean? You ain't perfect. And also, we're not going to agree. And get used to me not agreeing with you.
Right.
Because I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to apologize. You know how they do. This black man's... quickly, they'll say this black man went from cool and lovey-dovey and Bob Marley, Wiz Khalifa type of nigga to... oh, he's the baby. That can happen quick. You know what I mean? And then everybody like, yeah.
He's dangerous.
Yeah, he's dangerous and angry and all this.
Right.
So I'm like, I want to start keeping it more real to where people know what to expect from me as opposed to, I'm not Trevor Noah, and I think he's great. Mm-hmm. I'm not, I'm not a politician. We're not going to agree.
Right.
And I'm probably way more radical than you. So eventually I'm going to scare you with my politics.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but so we ain't got to agree. So that's some of the challenges of just kind of skating around that, dancing around that, and having my identity, at the same time finding myself. Because I'm just 32.
Right.
So we still trying to figure out who we are, at the same time while people looking at you, trying to critique you and stuff. So just trying to find my voice, find myself with integrity. And then also trying to educate people who don't understand you without being angry at them. You know what I mean?
I think you take a unique approach on your art. Yeah. Right. And when I say art, people who don't know, he's just not a comedian. Right? He's a real deal. Get a paintbrush and do his thing. Artist as well. Yeah. And so I use that term art broadly for you. You don't have to speak up the way you do, right?
Yeah, right.
And risk that cancellation type of relationship you could have with audiences.
Yeah.
Why do you feel it's important, not only for yourself, but possibly other artists to use their platform, to use their talent to address inequities in the human race?
Sure, man, because I went to church my whole life, and my pastor ain't never talked about racism. And it's niggas in church every day. It's hundreds and black folks every day. And he never discussed it. And it came off as manipulation almost. It just it came off like, why are you trying to play me? You don't talk about, and this Bible got plenty of stuff that talks about oppression, racism, even if it's like a parallel. It says, it talks about this stuff. Moses' people was in slavery. And he was like, nah, y'all let my people go. There's plenty of stuff you can talk about, but for some reason, black pastors rarely, if at all, ever talk about racism. And I'm just like, how am I supposed to come to you to help, and then on Monday I got to go to work and deal with this, and you ain't giving me nothing? Right. It just felt like manipulation. And I went to the mosque one time on Buchanan out north with Brother Sam, and the Muslims was talking about like racism, oppression, and mixing in the Bible. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know they could have been doing this the whole time. Like, now, mind you, church is still fire because I love the music. Right. You know what I mean? The socialization in there. I'm engaged now, but back in the day, they had them gals, them baddies. You ever find a baddie in? So church was lit. It's still lit. Church probably harder than the mosque, even though the mosque talking more talk. But I'm like, man, they got to be talking about some stuff. And I think anybody with a black audience has a responsibility, whether you want to or not, to discuss society in a way that your people can leave and handle that. Because all your people coming to you with this weight, this white elephant in the room of like, ugh, I'm exhausted dealing with this. Now, I'm not telling you to be Malcolm X or be a Black Panther, but give them some joke on racism. Give them a feeling of superiority or some love and to feel good about themselves. Because when they go out there, the world tell them they ain't shit and they second class. So when you come to me, you're going to leave thinking, man, I wish somebody would play with me.
Right.
I forget, brother done got me so gassed up on myself. That's what I feel like you need to do. And if you ain't doing that, you lazy. So if you're a rapper, if you're a comedian, if you're black, if you're a rapper or a comedian, because white folk ain't got to do that.
Right. That's the white privilege.
Yeah, white privilege. You don't have to do that.
And if you do, you're celebrated for it.
Yeah, that's great. If you care enough, but white folks don't have to do that because white people don't have this inferiority complex thrown at them every single day.
Right.
So you can go up there and talk about your dick and your balls and all this type of stuff, and which is boring to me anyway, but some people feel like that's an escape. But I just feel like if you do that in your comedy or in your church or in your prayers, that's what weed is for. Weed is to make me forget and escape.
Right.
I can smoke weed for that, bro. I don't need a pastor making me escape. I got weed, I got mushrooms, I need you to talk some talk. You know what I mean? So that's what I think people need to do, man. And that's what I like to do. I like to, and I'm also just into that naturally. Right. I always hate bullies. So if, white people being racist, Asian people, anybody being racist, bro, I got to have you.
Right. Man, I'm curious. What does justice mean to you? Justice. The word, it's a loaded question. And the only reason I'm asking you this is because of your take on what you do. Yeah. And as far as social justice, calling out bullies, calling out inequities in your art form that you do. Yeah. And so I'm curious, man, what does that mean? What does that look like for a Josh Black?
Yeah. Man, I would say I don't want reparations. Because money can't fix everything. Okay. So if I take your kid, if your kid's in high school and I beat his ass every day for 4 years, then he go to college, I beat his ass again for 4 years every day. And then at the end, when he graduates, I say, here's $100, be straight. He can be like, hell no, I got to have your ass. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you done beat my ass, you done raped my sister, I got to beat your ass, bro. So giving black people reparations for 400 years of tarring and feathering and rape and taking your kid when it's born and sending them to Baltimore and sending this kid to LA and beating them and slaving them and then treating us like shit up until this day. Money can't fix that. We poor, so we think we won't, I'll need some money, but that ain't justice to me. So then you ask, well, damn, you think you want violence? I can't say I'm promoting violence. I can just say money ain't gonna fix that. Right. And one option I would say is maybe we have white slaves. So, and I know people looking like, whoa, what do you mean? Not everybody, bro. Not everybody. I'm not going to enslave everybody. That's crazy. It's too many of y'all. I'm not going to enslave all y'all, but we got to find a group of people that nobody cares about. We got to enslave them. I know you think, well, who would that be? And I like to throw out there poor Republicans. Because in my book, nobody cares about them. Rich Republicans don't respect them. They're gross to them. White liberals hate them. Blacks despise them. Asians don't like them. Nobody cares about these people, bro. Right. So if we enslave them, bro, we can at least get 200 years up off of them. And then you say, what does slavery look like to you now? Well, it's 2022, bro. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give me about 4 young studs. I'm going to need one to work at Walmart, be a manager. He work 40 hours a week at least. Overtime, you better go get that. Another one work at Target. Then another one probably work at a car shop. Just so if my shit if my car break down, he going to handle that. And then another one, he can be a salesman or something. I'm keeping all the money. Right. It's free labor. Right. So now I ain't got to have a job. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. They working for me. Okay. He pulling in $600 a week. He pulling in $600. I'm straight. So now I'm getting $2,000-$3,000 a week just because of that's my reparation.
So poor Republicans we got to work for black-owned businesses for 200 years. No.
Nope,
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Hold on.
They're not working for the businesses. They're working for individuals. Oh. No. We're not giving them a job, son. We're enslaving them. So what they're gonna do is come to your house. They get to sleep in the garage, or they get to sleep, outside. It don't matter. Right. I don't care. You're a slave.
Right. And they just do whatever you tell them to do.
Well, I'm not gonna beat you. Right. That ain't my spot. I ain't gonna rape you. I ain't gonna beat you. but you gonna get up early and you gonna work. And you gonna work sundown. See, y'all they did us, bro. They had us outside picking. You're not gonna pick no cotton. You're gonna be in the AC.
Right.
You're gonna be in Walmart working as a manager. Like, you're gonna have respect on your name. You're just not finna get a dime.
Right.
When you get that check written to Josh Black, I need that whole thing. And it needs to direct deposit. Matter of fact, you don't even see that. And you're gonna do that, and your son's gonna do that.
Right.
And his son, you're gonna do that for another 300.
Right.
And then by that time, we gonna be so straight, we good now.
Right.
Imagine if every nigga making $3,000 a week and then now you got time to do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can just focus on this. You got 4 people out there working hard.
Right.
That's justice.
That's justice.
Nah, that's justice.
Oh man, that's justice. That's a quotable right there. That's a T-shirt.
No justice, no peace.
Power. I want to get your take on power, because now, you're in a position. You put yourself in a position, through your work and through your voice and how you do what you do, to hold power in community in Middle Tennessee. Expectations come with that, good and or bad, deserving or undeserving. How do you view your own power at this current moment, and how you responsible, or what responsibility do you feel you have to that power and how you use it?
Okay, I believe power needs to be to the people.
Okay.
We all hear that, power to the people, but the reality is, one man with power, all you gotta do is kill him. Power gone.
Right.
Like, and it's just, so if you doing too much if you helping too many people with that little power you got, let's just go ahead and knock you on off. That way, we can kill that.
Right.
But if you give power to the people, it's easier. So what if I get some little power I got now, I'm trying to bring this comedian up. All right, you get a show. I got comedians, they throwing shows all around town. You keep all the money. You got this venue didn't trust you because they don't know you. They don't like comedy, but they love Josh Black and they want to help Josh Black. So I'm like, I bet. I got my boy right here. He want to throw a show in here every month. He keeping all the money, and then we're going to tell them to tip y'all's bar or whatever. So now they getting money. He getting money. He's like, man, you don't want no money? I want no money. It's your show. You book it however you want to do it. I want to come and do my little 10 minutes so I can, sharpen my craft. I put him over here. I put him over here. Right. Now we got 6, 7 shows cooking, and he getting money, he getting money, he getting money, and we all, getting better.
Right.
So now you got your own power, and what that means is power meaning like all comics want to get on shows. Power means you can pick who's on your show, and now you can give him some shine, give him some money. So I'm passing power to the people. You see what I'm saying? And I want to do the same thing in the community. If I can't do a gig, if somebody says, hey man, can you come out here and do my gig? And I'm like, man, I'm booked up. I got to hit my homie. Right. I don't say let's reschedule. Right. Run that. And I need the same bag. Right. Give it to him though. Right. You know what I mean? And also link with him next time. Or if somebody say, hey, I want to do this gig, it's for this amount of money, and I feel like I'm past that, I got a comic for you. I got somebody for you. Let's do that. Right. Also, if I see somebody, if I just see something that if I can link people up with that'll help, I just try to link them. I say, hey, bro, you need to interview my man. Or, hey, you need to do this. So we can have, the people can have power. Because, I mean, if black folk in the city ain't moving up together and it's just one dude, it ain't really doing nothing. Right. Like, all I can do is eat good, but that ain't really doing shit.
I think we starting to see that change a little bit, because Nashville was just a big town, and you have a big town mentality, which is that one person. Yeah. But now, as we're a major city now, I think we're seeing people, and specifically black folks, tend to understand that strength of like, well, okay, if I'm moving, let me bring you up. Let's all build together, and we can all expand and represent Nashville together. And which wasn't always the case.
Outside of Starlito, most dudes that was popping wanted it to themselves. Right. You know what I mean? Like, Star always had a gang of motherfuckers on his album, on his mixtape. He always had people with him all the time. But other than that, bro, people was being assholes when they was popping in Nashville. I want to be the only nigga in the room, which is weird. I ain't never like that. You know what I mean? I want to be the only black person in the room. I'm going to close the door, and you ask somebody, hey, y'all hiring? No, they ain't hiring. Yeah. Like, that's just some goofy stuff anyway. So I think we are changing that. Now and that's what I want to do too. I want to be like, we got to help each other move up, add some power. I'm doing some murals in North Nashville right now, and I want I want you to drive by and be empowered by that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to literally pass the power around. So once you get it, we can start moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's enough out here for everybody to eat.
Yeah, it's America.
It's
This ain't
America.
like a
Right.
third world country.
Right.
There's money everywhere.
Right, we lit.
Yeah.
Like and Nashville is lit. And Nashville is a great foundation. If you're doing something, if you can get it popping in Nashville, it can take you to other places.
And you got to take advantage of being. And I say in America, not that America's great, but it's just like if you on the street and it's 4 houses and one house stole everything from every house on the street.
Right.
They stole the TVs, the carpet, the money, the games. They stole it all, and they got this one house got all that. That house is lit.
Right.
That don't mean they good people.
Right.
Because that's what America is to me. They don't went around and stole and killed everything, but it's in this one house that we happen to be in. You might as well play around.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I figure. Like it's some shit out here, man, and you just gotta make it work, and you gotta help. You gotta help each other, man.
Man, you had a Karen situation.
Oh, yeah.
I've been waiting to really dive into this with you, especially on this particular platform.
Yeah.
Because even though, as you do, you're gonna bring the laughter to the situation.
Yeah.
People have died from them Karen situations. Black men have been killed
From day one,
right? Emmett Till.
Yeah.
That was a Karen situation. Right?
Imagine how many slaves the white woman, when he didn't want to have sex with the white woman, she just said he tried to rape me and he dead off top.
A whistle,
Yeah.
a look. And so, man, take us through. Was you just shocked, amazed that this was happening to you?
Yeah.
Like you in your housing garage where you park your car, in that situation, man.
Man, so I came home and it was Nashville Fashion Week. And I was doing a whole lot of editing videos. I was like the ambassador for Fashion Week or something. So I'm doing a whole lot of stuff, tired as hell, doing way too much. Get home and some white woman knocking on my window, boom, 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 like aggressively. She's like, hey, and I'm thinking she worked for Uber. Cause sometimes they'll be like, hey, where's the elevator or something? And I'll let my window down. She said, what are you doing in here? I'm still confused. Like, what do you mean what I'm doing? Yeah, I know you got to be stealing. What are you doing in here? People breaking in cars. I know it's you. I just let the window up. I was like, okay, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm too tired to even deal with that.
Right.
And that's normal, unfortunately, for black folk in
Right.
like not Nashville, black folk, period. White people just thinking you done something and they're poorer than you
Right.
and dirtier and uglier. I'm like, hold on, she's horrible.
Right.
Hair is wet and she ain't even took a shower. Just wet like that, got that wet, damp whiteness to it. So I'm like, ugh. So I let my window up. I realized this woman is now circling my car with a video camera. So now I'm like, all right, now we're gonna record you. Because now like you doing too much.
Right.
I done let you go, you done knocked on my window, and I wasn't even gonna care about that. I record her and I pretty much say, hey, this woman's saying that I'm, stealing in my own parking garage. Mind you, I've been there for 3-4 years. I ain't never even seen her. I don't know who she is. And also, it ain't that many black folk there. How you ain't never seen me?
Right.
I got a Dalmatian.
Right.
Like if you see a black nigga walking a Dalmatian, you got it. So she's like, yeah, I know you stealing. I ain't never seen you in here and something. Her car got a donut on it as she's talking to me.
Right.
Which means you can't afford a tire.
Right.
First of all, who's breaking in your shit? Like, what could they be?
Why are you worried?
Yeah, like, they not breaking in. What could they get? Like, so she's like, yeah, well, and I'm you doing this? And I said, look, she's like, you fit the description. Just what she's saying on camera. She's so emotional and in her whiteness. And I'm like, I fit the description. So they had a pink back hat on, black nails, and with a pink sweatshirt. And she was like, well, yeah, they did have that. Fast forward, I posted that on TikTok and Instagram.
Went crazy.
40 million views. Everybody's killing her. I actually realized I had on my pink hoodie had everybody versus racism on it. Mm-hmm. So I think the irony is what tripped people out. Like, hold on, this shirt says everybody versus racism while being attacked by a racist. That just went super viral. The news found out that actually the person fitting the description was a white child on a bicycle. So I didn't fit the description. She just said
no, that was definitely you.
That's just what white folk be saying. Yeah, like, oh, you fit the description. Yeah. That's their favorite term. Yeah, man. So 40 million views later, she had to delete a TikTok, got fired from a job, and hopefully is dead.
Man, what message do you want current or future Karens to really grasp from this situation and really understand that maybe they not getting?
If you were a man, I would have beat the shit out you. And no one would have known, but you would have had a broken jaw with metal in your mouth. So technically, she won.
Right.
Because if she was a man, and how tired I was, bro, I wasn't even worried about all that camera shit. But like with a woman, I can't maneuver like that.
Right.
I would have just beat the shit out of him and dealt with whatever the fuck it is. Like, and I don't even care. Just because, like, I don't owe you nothing. I think we should handle Karens and racists with aggression. Pure aggression. Like, do not play with these folks. Like, they have this entitlement like they can't get their ass beat. Black folk know better than that because we come up in areas of poverty and angst and like, you see violence. So you understand that you can't play with everybody.
Right.
I don't care how little he is, how tall he is, how fat he is. That man must around kill you. Even if he a pussy, he'll kill you. You know what I mean? We know that. A lot of them don't understand that, and they think because life told them and the world tells them that they're important, they can't get their ass beat or they can't go viral or they can't go to jail. So handle Karens with aggression. If you do, beat them up, then do that. If not, record it, play them out, man, because that gained me a lot of followers and it got her job fired. So, handle it with care. But, to all my Karens out there, to all Karens out there, everybody not finna play with you. Like, everybody not gonna, like, just cry or, like, wait for the cops to show up. Right. So, yeah, but they'll learn eventually. I'm glad white women that are racist are finally starting to get that work. Because it was just white men for a while. Right. For centuries. Right. And the white women just sat on the sideline poking, being racist as fuck. And now they finally starting to get they work. So I'd like to see that too.
Yeah, man. You would think like situation like yours and Karens losing their jobs and stuff, like you would think they would understand the detriment that they're doing and the harm that they're causing, but that privilege, man. That privilege is blinding.
Because she was telling me in that video that she's gonna call the police, and what she's saying is the police are on my side. They work for me, which is true. Right. So when they come here and see a tall black guy, they're gonna handle you for me because they work for me and to protect me from people like you. So she's threatening my life by even saying that. You know what I mean? So imagine somebody walk up to you and say, "I'll kill you." This is pretty much what she's saying, and I just got off work. I'm just chilling, and she's pretty much saying, because I'm angry, I'm gonna kill you. Right. I'm gonna call police, and they gonna handle that, and they would. Police would have got there, beat the shit out of me. Right. You know what I mean? Arrested me, and they figured out, oh, he didn't do nothing. Whoops, get your ass back in there. Right. You know what I mean? So that's what she wanted, and that's what they all want. They want danger, because that's what the police are here for, in my opinion.
And they know it.
Yes. They know the police are here to protect them. White women always crying, talking about somebody raped them or beat them down, somebody black done hurt them, and the police and the news media, and everybody believes it, and then we take the blunt of it. So gotta play that shit smart. It's a tactic. It's a terrorism attack, and we just gotta know how to play with it. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, when Osama bin Laden attacked America and terrorized them, they handled that. Right. And now terrorists all around the world are scared to do that. Because they're like, America ain't bullshit. So when a terrorist came to me, I handled it. Now they like, God damn, I gotta work with this nigga different because he'll get you.
Man, isn't that kind of like ironic in a way that America has showed us nothing but violence and aggression? Yeah. However, the most oppressed people in this country ever, if we show any ounce of aggression.
I say it all the time. When America got terrorized on 9/11, they said, let's go to war. Right. It wasn't one person said that we want reparations. Right. With nobody saying, let's go march, let's go pray.
With no diplomatic solutions.
Democrats, conservatives, they all said, let's go kill this motherfucker. Right. We got to go kill him for what he did. And they're right. Right. Because you came over here and killed innocent people that didn't have nothing to do with that. You killed firemen, you killed policemen, you killed innocent people that was at work. The only answer is to go handle that. Right. Because now, not only have you've terrorized me, I'm afraid for my life. I'm afraid when I see planes. We was all afraid with the planes for years. Right. Because you terrorized us. And George Bush said, we finna go kill that man. And then Obama, he said, hey man, we killed him. And everybody's cheering. Right. Because they got terrorized. But then when the black community is terrorized, somebody break a window, we thugs. Like, hold on. How we broke a window? Right. You killed every brown nigga in the Middle East for 10 years.
Right. But even just going back to the being terrorized since we got into this country and the trauma that comes with that, and if anybody should be angry, and if anybody should be allowed or permitted to just tear up shit,
Yeah.
it should be us.
Right.
And
But they
rightfully so. But
every time something happens, we get terrorized. We're supposed to sit down.
right.
They'll say, y'all can march, but you don't tear nothing up. That's insulting in itself.
Right.
Because when y'all get terrorized, ain't nobody sitting down.
Right.
Y'all getting guns and you going to handle it. If we break a car or set something on fire, it's, oh, look at them. They're looting. Like, that's what y'all did. Y'all went to over Middle East and looted all the gas.
Oh, yeah.
Looted all the resources.
Well, this government is our system is just a walking contradiction, hypocrite. It's just like they got a documentary series coming out about like Hitler and the Nazis, right?
Yeah.
And America saying, Hitler, you can't get rid of all the Jews and go ahead and say, well, ain't that kind of what y'all did to the African Americans?
Yeah.
And this was during the Jim Crow area. Yeah, we did do it, but you can't do it.
And the only difference is Hitler didn't have the same PR.
Right.
He lost. So
right.
Once America loses, everybody will look back and be like, wow, America was, but we in that right now. You know what I mean? We in that. It's crazy, bro. And it ain't just the Republicans. I had a joke I'm still trying to work on now. I said, man, people still refer to Obama using the hard ER. But it's crazy because all those drone strikes he did in the Middle East, how can you not call him Barack Obama?
That's funny.
How can you not? You know what I mean? Everybody like, oh, shit, so I'm working on that. So see that in the hood near you.
Hey, you got it here first.
Yeah, I got to get
That's funny.
Yeah, man.
That's why you, man. So, look.
Yeah.
You touched on this a little bit in your set that I went to. Amazing set.
Thank you, man.
And it seems like you're open and ready to talk about it more in detail.
Yeah.
Your employment with the fire department. I know it's been a battle for you.
Literally, a legal battle.
Yeah,
literally,
a battle, and and it's a larger picture to it too, because anybody should be able to speak up against inequities, right? Regardless of who you work for. If it's existing in your workplace or if it's existing in just space in general, you should be able to address that, speak up.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, when you initially spoke up, it was about the city council's decision about the right license plate readers, right?
Yeah.
Which many people don't agree with, right? And they still, I think, in a 6-month pilot. We'll see how they go. And they feel you should be reprimanded for that. You shouldn't speak on that. You shouldn't talk about those things. So working for the fire department.
Yeah.
One, how's your mental health been in just balancing all of that and understanding, like, damn, I can't even. They don't want me to speak up about these things. These are even black people telling me don't speak up about these things. But we should be able to speak up about these things because I think what you're going through publicly is what a lot of black folks in general and specifically go through because of their financial situation. They be quiet. And they in just basic terms, they want you to just shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they want you to do. Just shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
How's that process been? What have you seen come from that personally? And also maybe what you projected for others to also take a stand on as well, being in maybe in a work environment that don't want you to speak your mind, be yourself, and speak up against injustices?
What I say is nobody knew I was a firefighter until they made it a public thing.
Right.
Nobody knew that.
Right.
I changed my name for this reason. I didn't want to be associated with it at all. So when I said what I said, it was about a public issue. It was my opinion, and I did it from a whole nother name that had nothing to do with that. Right. So nobody even knew I was a firefighter at all. So they made that a thing, and they said that the city council, I said the majority of city council's white supremacists because the majority of them voted for a white supremacist bill. Right. That ain't just my opinion.
Right.
Opinion from all the
20-some organizations.
20-some organizations. We're talking about the Mexican organizations, Latino organizations, black organizations, gay organizations, white organizations. They all realize that this is just another way to police and over-police and over-surveil black communities, send Latinos to ICE, get them deported, add to mass incarceration. And I'm doing a mural right now that says, you don't you don't fight poverty with policing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when people are poor, if I don't have any food, bro, I gotta steal some food because my kid's hungry.
Right.
That's anybody. That's any race.
Right.
So if you take all the resources, all the food out of a neighborhood, crime is inevitable. Crime is the son of poverty.
Right.
You have to do that because you either die.
Right.
So if you want poverty to go away, you give them food.
Right.
You give them health care. You give them education.
Access to all
You give
of
them
that.
access, then the poverty drops. But instead of that, you want to lock them up because that's profitable for you. You know what I mean? And that's what they were doing. I spoke out against that and got suspended for it. And I do it again.
Right.
Like, ain't nobody going to stop me from speaking out against racism, against bigotry, against... and I'm from that neighborhood. I'm from out north. So I done seen what that does to people. You screwing up a whole family just so you can get another black slave in the prison system making license plates for money. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not, ain't nobody gonna stop me and dingle some carrot in my face and say, well, I'll take your food away. Right. Also, well, I ain't gonna say that, but I'll just say that I'm okay with being, well, put it like this. I'm gonna speak out against racism. And if anybody got a problem with that, I'm willing to deal with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I would say, if you on your job, and I always said back in the day, like, the most obedient person in the black community is the nigga with a good job. Mm-hmm. He's the most obedient because he ain't gonna do nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he's got a good job.
Comfortable.
And he's feeding his family. Mm-hmm. I'm empathetic and sympathetic towards him because he wants to feed his children, his wife, his family's proud of him. And if he speaks out against that, he can lose all that and have to be scrambling again. Right. And he's lucky to have that job. But then that makes me say, okay, so that means all I got to do is, if I'm a white supremacist, I just throw you $70,000 and you shut up.
I think I would argue that is most black folks currently because of that situation.
Yeah, so now your price tag, so you can say, I'm black, I'm proud, I hate racism. Here's $70,000. You go shut up.
Racism seems kind of okay.
Yeah, you like, well, now I hate it quietly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm going to take this money and hate it quietly.
Right.
Ain't no tag on me. You give me 10 million, I'm going to say the same shit. You take the 10 million, fuck you.
Right.
You're not finna like hush me with that. But that's the power of capitalism too.
Right.
Capitalism makes it to where you're a slave to money.
Right.
You need this. I'm going to starve to death for you. You try to silence me.
Right.
And so, you know, because they did that and because they made it public, a lot of people seen it. And because I've now made my name in the city, a lot of people were upset about that. They saw that in their opinion, it was racist. It was disgusting. They spoke out about it, and they've been behind my back ever since, and they've been fighting against it, and everybody hates it. Now we on the big stage.
And so you spoke a little bit about this earlier about, you know, your grandfather being a commander chief.
Yeah.
How has that played a part into you handling the situation, knowing that you have, I think you may have said this before, the only way to get in the fire department, you got to have a family member. You know, how does that play into how you've handled this, how this has been handled with your family history with the fire department?
Well, I say my granddad got on the fire department right after the period in time where the fire department was spraying black people with hoses. They were spraying black people in the civil rights movement with hoses just because they felt like that was the right thing to do.
Right.
Right after that, somehow this black man got a job in there. Somehow, I don't know how he did that. He pulled it off, got a job, worked. Ain't no telling what he's seen. Well, there is. He done told me, but it's insane what a black man back then had to go through in the fire department that was just spraying people with hoses. He fought through that, worked his way up to the ranks, had 5 kids. His wife didn't have no job. He working this side job, had about 3 jobs. He's working, and at the same time, as he's moving up, he's moving black people up with him. He's hiring this person, giving a good word to this person. And everybody in the fire department, black or white, said, man, your granddad helped me. He helped me do this. He helped me do that, man. He's so helpful. And black people say, oh, my God, man, he's like the GOAT. Like, he's helped us all. He helped us all. And I say that to say that he wants me to be better than him, just like my son's going to be better than me, and his son's going to be better than him. What that means is I'm doing the same thing my granddad did. Right. I'm helping folks. Right. I'm just going to do it on a wider scale.
Right.
So my granddad did it in his fire department because that's all That's all they had to do.
Right.
They couldn't do comedy or no fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so he took it to the top of his craft and murked it. So I'm finna do that. I'm finna do the same thing he did for the whole world. That's what I'm finna do. So I'm doing the exact same thing he did. It's just not finna be confined to a job. It's gonna be confined to a world. So I ain't doing nothing different.
Right.
And honestly, he respected.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, I think it's gonna be. We see the fire department differently, maybe.
Right.
But I'm doing it. I tell them all. I'm doing exactly what you did.
Right.
So that's your fault.
Right.
You know what I mean? You shouldn't help so many people.
Right. Man, how does it hit you when you know these are black folks that are trying to get you the hell up out of there and trying to reprimand you in a way for speaking up of stuff that helps them?
Well, cause like Harriet Tubman tried to get people out the plantation, and they told on them.
Right.
Like they were like, well, we getting fed good here. They feed us good. They only beat us once a week. They only rape us twice a year. Like,
right.
And Harriet Tubman was like, yeah, but we don't have to do this
At all.
We can go out here, and I'm trying to help you. And a lot of them was telling on her. A lot of them said, man, she crazy, man. Leave her alone. Don't deal with that.
Right.
And I'm thinking, hell, if she could deal with that, it's the same thing. It's the same mentality that's passed down because you're thinking, I have to do this to survive.
Right.
So in my slave mind, and the slave and the liberated revolutionary ain't never thought the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they gonna always bump heads.
Right.
Because to the slave, I'm crazy. And to me, he's crazy. Right. Although I'm trying to help this fool.
Right.
But yeah, we always gonna bump heads. And eventually, maybe we can, I think they say the first battle of the revolution is in the mind.
Right.
So what we're doing right now is trying to plant that seed in the mind so our kids ain't necessarily got to deal with that many slave mentality. Because it's hard. We don't speak the same language.
Right.
Like if you speaking French and I'm speaking Portuguese, you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm talking about freedom, liberation. And in your mind, you're like, no. They got to feed me.
Right.
What are you doing? And so
about dependency.
Yeah, that come with it. So I think that come with it. If Harry had to deal with that, then I can deal with a few black folks slandering me on some job. That's part of it.
Right.
And then, but that's just part of it. And they gonna always do that.
Right. You got a lot going on, and I'm curious. You mentioned in the beginning you don't represent Nashville. What does that look like as you're diving into new things, doing new things, new opportunities are coming not just here but outside of Nashville? Because honestly, let me think about it. I don't really know. I kind of want to count Oprah sometimes, but I don't really know of a black person, and I think that in our modern era, that has been able to break in Nashville and then take that and make it worldwide and then represent Nashville everywhere he or she goes.
Yeah.
So what does that look like for you?
Man, to me it looked like you hear Jay-Z on the record talking about, man, he talking that flex talk. I got this, I got that. And also I got a Josh Black art piece on my wall as a flex.
Right.
Ain't got nothing to do with me. He just saying, y'all got to get your money up because I got a Josh Black in here. Oprah, you go to Oprah House. You know what I mean? You go to, I don't know, Justin Bieber house. This huge Josh Black piece.
Right.
You know what I mean? And also, you go to Bridgestone, Josh Black performing. And it's lit. And he's still talking like he was back then.
And it's sold out.
Yeah, like, it's sold out completely. And you know him, and it's literally the same motherfucker from back then. Like, ain't nothing changed. He's still, he done got a little more mature, maybe.
Right.
He done got a little more polished, but he's still talking how ain't nothing changed him. You know what I mean? So, I'm also, got art in Hong Kong, got art in China, I got art in Russia. And it's still revolutionary art pieces. I'm doing murals all over the place. I'm in the MoMA. I want, art all over the place. I want comedy all over the place. My comedy's still hitting. I'm still talking that talk. And every time you hear me, like, man, he talk like a nigga from Nashville.
Right.
Like, or this bro from, you know what I mean? Like, bro from here.
Right.
And still coming back and holding it down. So just doing huge shit. And I think P. Diddy, Hove, Snoop, the way these dudes have just turned all the way up to the max kept it black, and then still put on, ain't no question where they from at all times.
Right.
That's how you move. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you're supposed to do it. Like, you turn up all the way in every space you can. I'm black as hell every single time.
Right.
And you know where I'm from, and they all proud. Like, he from here, you already know how we get at.
Right.
Like, it needs to be a bragging right. Like,
to be from Nashville.
yeah, like, bro from the Ville. You know them Ville, they crazy. You know what I mean? Like, Ville, they go hard. Like, we didn't care nothing about Toronto. Now that Drake's a thing, like, that's a thing now.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would even say that he influenced them putting money into the Raptors that made them get that damn championship. Like, once you start popping and putting on for your town, shit starts happening. You know what I mean? So I just want to turn up all the way to the max. And also, you can see that it's possible. One thing you got to see is somebody, like, it's a comedian named Nate Bargatze. He said you need to see success so that you know that it's real. Because if you don't see it after a while, you just think, man, I'm dreaming too hard. Right. If you see me and you know me or your uncle know me or your cousin know me and I'm lit like that, you're like, oh, nah, bro, it's possible. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And everybody in the barbershop like, nah, bro, I just seen bro yesterday. He put me on this right here. Like, okay, so it's really a thing. You know what I mean? And we don't have that here yet. Not yet. Yeah. It's coming though. No, man, because it's bubbling. So we got some people cooking. Yeah, for sure. And the next 5 years, we're going to have some huge names, and they all from the Ville. They're going to say, what the fuck going on down there? They all might be from out north. Yeah, bro. Yeah. They all might be high as looking. That's the Mecca. They all may be from out north. No, that's what it's looking like. Yeah, bro. And that's the Mecca, dude. Yeah. It's only right. Yeah. Man, it's always good, man, catching up with you. And it's always good to get you in this space. Because people see your comedy. People coming for the laughs, but man, I had one. It was one comment. It's like, man, you need to get Josh Black. They clearly missed the first interview. Yeah. But I think a lot of people like it when you just talking that talk and you on your comedy, but like you do a really good job of that balance of but this means something. Yeah. Yeah. And man, I can't praise you enough for that, man. Yeah. Because you don't have to do it. Yeah, and that's real. That's what it's about, though, bro. Yeah. That's what it's about, man. You gotta give some. Everybody I like did that. Whether it be Malcolm, whether it be Jay-Z, whether it be Diddy, whether it be the Black Panthers. Like, if you ain't talking to what's going on, bro, what are you doing? Like, it's just like anybody can talk about cars or like it's just funny shit, but. Give me some food for thought. Give me something so when the interview's over, I'll be like, man, let me Google what the fuck was, bro. Right. Or maybe I need to get on I need to do something. Give me some energy. So hopefully we pass some energy through the camera. So look, I'm gonna give you. I want you to speak on this one hot topic right quick. All right, what you got? Because I don't think I heard this. The gays. That is a hot topic. That is a hot topic. That's a hell of a hot topic. But we can hit that. But I want to hit this too. I can't do this with you, man. Gun violence. Yeah. I ain't heard you really talk about this. Okay. So I'm curious. I'm a wholehearted believer in toting that iron personally. Yeah. From a young age, and then it just when we grow up, right? Yeah. But I'm curious on how you feel about gun violence and gun policy. Yeah. In the wake of everything that has happened recently, but there's always been a level of gun violence, and it's from the beginning of this country. Yeah. Well, I think, man, any oppressed people should have a gun. It's dumb if you don't. So, like, if we're in Nazi Germany and the Jews say, should we get guns or not? It's just not a question. Right. They're trying to murder you. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? If you don't, you will die. Right. Like, if you're the Native Americans and you in America in the 1600s, do I need a gun? That's not a question. Right. They're trying to kill you. Right. You know what I mean? So if you are oppressed, no matter what race, no matter what age, no matter if it's gay, straight, any oppressed person, a woman, if you are dealing with the system of oppression, if you don't have a gun, you're playing yourself because they can get rid of you and nothing happened to them. Right. Because they're under the system of oppression. As part of oppression is smashing you. So if you're a woman leaving the club, have that thing on you, have something on you. If you're a black person, you know what I mean, and you walking through a town, you got to go get some gas, you traveling somewhere, and you got to stop through Pulaski, you better have it on you. Right. You know what I mean? And of course, you never want to use it. Right. Sometimes you ain't got to. That peace speak loud. Right. People don't want no smoke with that. So I say any oppressed people need a gun. And there's no revolution without one either. So if you're talking about the Black Power shit, power's in the pistol.
Right.
So you can talk all this shit until them cops pull up with them guns. Now you got to go home.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the talking's over. You know what I mean? Take
right.
that shit on to the fucking house, nigga. So like, so if you want that,
Get back on the internet.
yeah, exactly. Go tweet something, nigga.
Right.
So if you want liberation, it come with the strap. Black Panthers taught me that. But as far as gun violence and policy, I don't know. White men in America they've proven to be very violent and dangerous naturally. They just angry. There's rage, and they like to kill the innocent. They like to pick on smaller people. They like to go in schools and shoot people. I realize like all those white dudes who want race wars, like the people in Buffalo that you shoot, they won't. It's like they just so mad. They want to go shoot up churches. And they want to shoot up school, but they never go to the hood where niggas really want that smoke at.
Never.
So niggas in the hood but you ain't never seen no white dude go from the internet and say, I'm gonna do it, and then you take it to the hood and go shoot up Dodge City or 23rd or go to Antioch. You don't never do that. You always go to where ain't nobody expecting you, which means you pussy. You're not really about that, bro. Right. I know you think you are, because you shooting and they say, oh, you were good. Like, I forgot these goofy niggas' names, but all them white boys that shot up people, none of them folks was ready for no strap. Like, that's not a win.
Right.
A win is when you go and y'all have a shootout and you the winner. Right. You got a bullet off in you because you really went to war. Y'all ain't. Right. But when you're dealing with these type of pussies and these type of racists, I don't know, man. I don't know if there's a real answer to the school shootings. I don't know if there's a real answer. You can they say put cops in there, but then now black folk got to deal with cops in school. Like that's annoying too. Now you getting police brutality in math class. You know what I mean? Just because you fucking said 2 + 2 is 3. Now you're getting shot at.
Well, there's studies out there because they call these cops, school resource officers.
Yeah.
I don't know how resourceful they are, but that's what they call them.
Yeah.
And of course, what the stats what they show is more black and brown kids get arrested more.
Yeah.
When you have cops in the school.
That's the thing, man. So it's like, and you don't want it. That's the thing, because. I don't know how much a cop's gonna look after a black person realistically. I just don't know, because in their brain, you're the problem. Even if it's subconscious.
Right, it's implicit.
Yeah, and like even if you like, it's just like you're told that through movies, through books, through your church. It's just like we're always like, I was painting a mural, and it was a cop with boxing gloves and a black dude with boxing gloves, and this little white kid was just like, he was like 4. He's like, oh, it's a cop, and he's fighting the bad guy. Like, it's just natural.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So it's just subconscious. So it's tough, man. But I don't know. They're gonna have to do something. I don't know what the answer to white rage is.
Right.
Because if you take his gun, he's just gonna build a bomb.
Right.
You know, so stopping his guns is like some liberal shit to like, hey, stop the gun. That ain't gonna stop this shit. These niggas is crazy.
And on top of that, what happens is when any of these policies are passed down, they always infect black and brown people more.
Yeah, they're gonna find a way to fuck
black folks. So it's like, all these, so that's all these, you tell your meaningful white liberal friends, you might want this, but think about who this is really gonna affect. Yeah. Like, in theory, it sounds good.
And a lot of them just like to talk. That's not going to stop anything. Like, you have to realize, why would a person want to do that? Right. Like, you're not gonna. That's like saying, well, some of them renting a plane into the building. We can't use planes no more. That's not. Why are these young white kids ready to kill everything? Have you seen a documentary on? I hate to drop a movie reference, but it was the Woodstock '99.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen it. It's on Netflix.
Bro, check it out. You just realize, like, is there that frat white dude that's just like, they just angry. And they just want to punch something and kill something. It's the anger there. I don't know if it's a daddy issue. And they
have everything in the world for them. Like,
they grow up and they go on. So if you go to News Channel 5 on Facebook or News Channel 4 or News Channel Tennessee, and you go to the comments of anything about black people, they in there. You go. That's where their energy is like. They just hate everything. They don't want no smoke. So I want to gas y'all like you ain't about shit. You ain't gonna do nothing to me, pussy. Right. But like they. Like my boy Lowe's had his Black Nashville market. You gotta have. He been in here?
Yeah. Okay. No, he ain't been in here, but I've been to the. I was just there last Friday.
Oh, that's right. That's what I seen.
Yeah. We was just there together.
Yeah, exactly. We came together, right? But no, he had an event, and then they posted on the news, and then like all these white folk from Tennessee was just saying this is horrible, just because he had a black market. But what I'm saying is, these are the people that we're dealing with. I don't know. The guns that you can take the guns, they still gonna be on Facebook.
Right.
Like, these are dangerous people, man. And so I don't know, but if you black, get strapped. Get strapped. And also, man, we got, if we being honest with it, on the other side of that coin, killing each other's a problem.
Oh yeah.
And that is just ignorant. Like, and we just gotta somehow get past that. We gotta blame the rappers. They're probably 80% of this.
Yeah.
Ignorance is one of it, and then just our culture of that being cool.
Well, it's a, like, we talking about white supremacy. I feel like it's an indoctrination, right?
Sure.
And we can be indoctrinated with white supremacy too, right? As
Absolutely.
black people.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what that is, that internalized black hate. Because
Right.
if I see you and you see me and we both from out north and I say, okay, damn, he might okay, if I'm a wolf and he a wolf, all right, let me give him some wolf energy then and not and mean mug you or clutch my pistol a little more. That's internalized black hate.
Yeah.
And we have to get, if we can't say what's up to you, because we all going through it.
And also there's no value on black life.
Right.
So when you talk about internalizing white supremacy,
right.
You see a white woman walking down the street pushing her stroller,
right.
You're not even thinking about robbing her.
Nah.
You're like, hell no, I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
You see me walking down the street with some Jordans on. You're like, nah, fuck around, take this nigga shit. Because in your mind, my value ain't even that high. Don't nobody care about me.
Right.
So you can lick me, but that white girl, people care about her. She's more valuable. So we do got to worry about that internalized racism. And also, if you're selling crack to black folk, you a coon. Let's talk about that. Like, I'm tired of y'all. Like, because it's 2022 now. In the 70s, 80s, 90s, we didn't know no better.
Right.
2022, bro, you're selling poison in the black neighborhood for profit. You's a piece of shit, man.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Well, hey, man, no, it would be super dope. I don't know. I would love to see this happen, man. But I think, and I don't agree with everything he say, but I like what he say. A lot of stuff he say.
Who was that?
Charleston White.
I hate that man.
Man, you hate Charleston?
Goofy.
Man, look, because Charleston would say exactly what you just said.
Yeah,
he might say it a little differently, but he speaks up. He calls out the rappers, the game leaders, and all that.
It's like he only hates black people.
I think that's his whole thing. Yeah.
And
that's
what's gonna get him fucked up. And he's putting out so much negative energy that's got to come back. So eventually,
I think it's come back.
I give him 2 years max. I don't want to speak on no man like that, but you putting that much energy out, you getting that back, bro.
And that's the thing, because he puts up 20%. It'd be like good nuggets.
Yeah.
And then to be the 80.
He's not getting.
That's the thing.
He's
That's
the
what
nigga that got
away.
bullied in high school and got beat up, and now you want to like. I'm surprised he's not a police officer. A lot of people.
Well, he tell you, like he tells you, like, yeah, I'm policing for you.
Yeah. So like people like him normally become cops because they got bullied their whole life and they need some authority.
Right.
But his authority now is his camera, and he get to,
he says he's in character. That's what he said.
That's a dangerous character, man.
Yeah.
Because everybody ain't playing.
Right.
And he don't seem to be with that for real. Because they said he pulled out that mace when Soulja Boy put up on him and ran off with his gal. So I was like, what are you doing, bro? That's just Soulja Boy.
So do you get hate mail? Do you get has that happened to you? Have you
not mail, but like comments sometimes, especially on TikTok. People go crazy, man. But it just like, it almost give me hype, like, got him. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm not gonna look at it and be like, wow, that hurts. I'm like, oh, okay, got him. That hurt you.
Man, I want to end on this note, and I want to give you the last word.
Yeah.
Because you spoke about something about biting.
Yeah.
Right? People biting. I think you even posted something not too long ago about a TikTok of biting your questions.
Oh, you're talking about Biden, the president.
No, biting.
I was like, we about to go into Down syndrome?
No, biting.
Okay. Damn, we about to talk about
training wheels.
Mental illness?
You silly, man. But jacking. People jacking. Man,
stealing your style.
That comes, they say, what is the phrase? Imitation is a
best form of flattery or something like that. Yeah.
Man, how do you because it's something I'm trying to pivot right now myself.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Especially if you know the person or know of the body, the entity that's doing it, or do you just take it as a compliment with like, hey, they can't stand on it like I stand
Although
on
it is a compliment, it is probably one of the most annoying things.
Right.
Because you know how nuanced your stuff is. And the audience doesn't.
Right.
So the person that's stealing it and he's getting likes, they might not even realize what he just did.
Right.
Because they're not in your field. But he know, because he in your field. He know
he's studying
he know what he took.
Right.
However, the greater you get, the more impossible it is to steal.
Right.
So you got to take it as one, you copying me because it's working. Like, you ain't copying everybody. You copying me because it's shit working. So you're like, okay, but that is a compliment. And also it keeps you not comfortable because you're like, man, if I stop, he gonna take my shit
Right.
and just run with it and cheapen it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're like, okay, I gotta keep it. And then eventually, bro, you get to a point of greatness where you can't be Kobe.
Right.
You can't be Jay-Z. You can't be a J. Cole. You can't be a Kendrick. It's too deep.
Right.
He put in too much work.
The
And
separation
yeah,
is too
the separate.
wide.
He's putting it. Kobe said one time, like he said, I remember when I was a kid, I was working like 10 hours a day on basketball in the off season. So if I did that for 4 years, and then every summer you just did maybe one, there's no way to catch me.
Yeah.
You're gonna need 10 years to catch me. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's impossible. And then all of a sudden, once you get that great, they can't find the nuances and how you doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You working on a whole nother level. They can't
Right.
even. It's like they trying to play Super Nintendo and you got an Xbox 360. It's
Right.
like you only had these controls.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You only got these features.
No,
you can't even get
ain't-
these games.
No, so you can't play the same game.
Right.
And if they do try to take it, it's blatantly obvious now. So I
Right.
just think that's part of the game, and there's no way around that. There's
Right.
not nobody good that ain't somebody biting.
Right. Man, Josh, man, I just appreciate your time, man.
Anytime, bro.
Y'all hear that anytime. So when
No.
when he making 20, 30 million for a movie, he said anytime.
Seriously,
anytime,
bro.
anytime.
Seriously, I love doing this.
Man, I want to give you the last word though, man, of anything that man you just might want to hit on, man. Just leave with
Okay.
the people, leave with the city.
Okay.
And something that you might just want to get off your chest, but some I know you got a lot of inspiration in you.
Yeah,
Something you
yeah.
might want to leave to motivate somebody.
A lot of people got jobs. If you own your job, stop letting shit slide. Like, if somebody say some slick shit to you, whether it be racist, sexist, homophobic, stop letting them slide, bro. Stop going home and saying, I should have, man. Or, man, dude, just annoying. Stop dismissing it as annoying, or that's just Bradley, or that's just, let that man have it. And you thinking, wow, what if they not gonna like me? They gonna respect you, though. You know what I mean? Like, stop letting people get over, bro. Because if we keep letting it get over, the person behind you got to deal with them. The person behind you got to deal with them. Start checking that shit, man. And then start handling it with aggression. Not only do you say we not doing that, you transfer that uncomfortable energy to them. Make them feel uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? And read more so you can do that. You can't just be on TikTok all day and then somebody say something slick and witty to you to disrespect you and you ain't got the armor for it. So try to read something out of your comfort zone. Watch some shit on YouTube out of your comfort zone. Arm yourself. You know what I mean? If you're a woman, arm yourself with some knowledge. If you're a gay person, arm yourself with some knowledge. If you're a black man, a Puerto Rican man, whatever the fuck, arm yourself with something so you'll be ready with some quick wit. And then after you do that constantly, that's just part of who you are now.
Right.
So now even if you're drunk and somebody say something slick, you're like, hold on, what was that, bitch? And then you and people stop playing with you. So we gotta stop letting these folk play with us at work because they outnumber us. And they always get to play around. Don't hit them at work because the white people love that. You can't do that really because they can just say you're angry and you assaulted them and
You gotta be strategic.
yeah. So, but you can hit them just as hard, making them look dumb, and you ain't got to tell on them. You can threaten them to tell on them, or you can record them and tell on them. But just like stop letting people play with you at work, bro. Right. It's over for that. And I feel like everybody that's a minority got to deal with that.
Man, I stopped giving passes a long
Yes.
time ago,
Yes.
and that's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
We've given too many passes, and
Because it's exhausting.
it's exhausting. And when you give people passes, they perpetuate it.
Yes, bro.
And that's why I like meeting with aggression, and it tends to hope.
Yeah, bro, because like you thinking, okay, shit, I gotta be here. I got 3 more hours. My kid at home. I gotta figure out what I gotta do. I'm also doing chasing my dream on the side. And you thinking about all this, and you on Twitter, and then somebody say something slick and walk off. You thinking, I'm too tired. Fuck them. Who cares? Go get that.
Right.
Go handle that. Or if it take a minute and you realize 2 hours later, what'd he say?
Right.
Go back and handle it 2 hours later. Hey, 2 hours ago, bro, what was that?
Yeah.
Or two. No,
I
no, no,
lose
no.
sleep for letting stuff pass.
We all do, bro. We like,
Yeah.
why the fuck I didn't? Go handle that. And then eventually you're gonna get so sharp to it to where they're not gonna get past you no more.
Right.
And then you get to the point like, what was that? And then they like, oh, I didn't mean that. Oh, all right. Well, I was just making sure. What was that, nigga?
Clear.
Yeah, speak up with that. And they know you're not one of them niggas to play with. So stop letting them slide. And they ugly. Like they just not like they not really like they just like I hate when. You know what I think it's like, bro? White people in America have convinced, like imagine if, and then we're going to leave with this. Serena Williams and LeBron James have a kid, right? Mm-hmm. They got this kid. And then America kills the parents. Boom. And they tell this kid his whole life that he can't He's not an athlete.
Right.
And he just can't. And that's what they've done to us. And these non-athletic motherfuckers are telling you ain't an athlete. We the athlete. And you're like, I guess I ain't an athlete because you don't know no better. Because you don't know your history. You don't know who your parents were. You don't know who your ancestors were. And they just keep playing you. But you don't even understand what the fuck you are. They ain't shit.
Right.
Like your dad was LeBron James and Serena Williams. No. So I say that to say like you're the special one. Mm-hmm. You can't let a goofy play you. He's just goofies. Like, so stop, like, you're the athlete, fam. Don't let these goofy motherfuckers play you because hell no, bro. And you might want to get to know your history so you can know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it'll definitely motivate you and inspire you. And that inner value.
Yeah, bro.
Man, Josh, dog, it's always a pleasure. Keep doing your thing. I'm gonna catch up with you one day, man.
We'll do it, bro. No, this gonna be. I'm glad you got some good art in here.
Yeah, man.
You got your logo popping. You got a new space downtown.
Yeah, man. When I get the bigger space, man, I'm gonna have you do some art in it.
Oh, you know I like that. I like that. We get that thing right. You let me know, man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know.
I'm definitely gonna tap. But I appreciate you having me, man. Keep doing this shit, man.
Nah, man,
this shit is
sure.
important. Man. Keep asking them real questions, man. And I'm gonna challenge you. Ask something uncomfortable.
Okay.
Every time.
Okay.
Like not just to me. I'm talking about anybody.
Anybody.
Ask something. Like take yourself a little further.
Okay.
Not that you didn't.
No.
I'm just saying like if I just had to leave something with you personally.
Yeah. No.
Put a question down that might confuse the guest. Make
me even uncomfortable.
Make you say, "Fuck, should I really say this?"
Right.
Go that way.
Okay.
Go, because that's gonna be where the greatness is in that uncomfort. You're like, God, I don't know, and then that's where the content gonna come too.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, shit, the nigga said, well, yeah, right. He asked that nigga that. You know what I mean? That's the one right there.
Bet.
Yeah, because a lot of people ask me, you love white women. That's what they say. Because I'll be around white.
Right.
You ain't never seen me fuck a white woman in your life. But people just say that to me. They be like, man, you fuck them white hoes. Why would you say that? You know what I mean? But random ass, you know what I mean? Something like that. And the answer is, I'm engaged to a black woman. People are like, oh, it's black women sometimes. They be like, I seen you, girl, you got you a black woman.
Right.
Like, what kind of shit is this?
Right. You know, like, same here.
Who the fuck you thought I was with?
Man, you know, I think sometimes it'd be like a test. Like, it's like
black women try to sneak you.
Yeah, he's like,
what's your girl name?
Right. Yeah, what's your name?
Is it
Oh, in my game, I got such a white name.
What's her name?
Catherine.
Oh.
So you know, as soon as
that's
I
close
said
to Karen.
As soon as they say that, I said, look, she black.
Oh yeah, look, here she go right here.
Yeah, right.
They gotta pull his phone out. Look, I got a black woman.
Oh man, so it'd be like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
You know. So, but I appreciate that. Though. I'm gonna take that. Yeah. You always leave something with me, man. So I appreciate that. Yeah. And I'm trying to get all the gems from Josh before we can't get them no more.
I'm always here.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. When is gonna drop?
Man, man, you know how many.
You backed up.
I don't even want to say the number I'm backed up.
Damn.
I'll tell you.
Will this come out this decade? Am I gonna?
It's gonna come out this decade.
How old will I be when this shit drop?
You 32.
Like this nigga gonna have a great beard by the time this shit drop.
Content gonna be fire.
Man, when this nigga was in his 30s, man.
I'm put like this. I probably got now between 35 and 40 interviews.
Damn, son.
In the back. And so I just be, man.
That's good though.
It's good though.
I'm not good at that. Yeah. I'm so impatient.
But I be like,
I gotta get better with that.
Man, I just be like, man, because I want to be the best one. Yeah. And I be like, ain't nobody gonna outwork me. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do more interviews.
And it's always good to have content on your phone.
Yeah, and so it never stops.
Yeah.
Like for me, it never stops. And so when you talking about pressure, you talking about looking at people, but I'm like, man, look, y'all gonna have to put out a minimum 2 interviews a week.
That's what Will Smith said before I stopped fucking with him. He said, if we hop on the treadmill, I hop on the treadmill. I'm gonna die before you beat me. Right. So yeah. That's how I wake up. I'm like, nah, I know and I get inspired by other people what they do. I'm like, oh, okay, like I like they cooking. So let me let you understand. We using 2 different type of stoves and pots and pans. Yeah. My spices is a little different. But it's all motivation though. Yeah, it's all motivation. And I try to I try to support whoever I can if they want to be supported. And man, and you're an inspiration, dog. When I see you cooking, when I see you doing your thing, I be like, I gotta catch you. Ain't shit possible out here, man.
It's always possible, man. But man, bouquet of flowers. Appreciate you, bro. And man, just congratulations on everything and more to come.
We out here, baby.
I bet.
Thank you, sir.